Well, well, well. Thank you to Tropical Storm Debbie. My idea of grilling outside was nixed. And in this rain, I really don't want to go to the store. So let's see what we can do. Bo wishes he could go out, but it's a nasty day. Let's see here. What do we have in our pantry? Pasta, popcorn, pasta. There it is. There it is. We're going to make some black beans. Not just black beans. When I was a child, my mother made black bean puree for me, and I mixed it with rice, and it was really very tasty. I always enjoyed it. But I took her original recipe, doctored it up a little bit. You like that term? Doctored it up a little bit. And I made a black bean bisque. You're going to love it right here on Dr. Flavor. Okay, for the ingredients, very basic. We're having, obviously, the black beans, Goya brand. Okay, we're going to use a little bit of olive oil, 2 caramelized onions. We're going to have some nice fresh pressed garlic, a little bit of tomato paste. Badia's complete seasoning wouldn't be right if we didn't use it. Cumin, a little bit of oregano, black pepper, and we're going to add a little bit of flavor with the balsamic glaze. And because I'm not using any meat in here, I'm going to use a little bit of broth base to actually give it a little bit of a meaty flavor. And I'm going to add a little bit of Turbinado sugar for the caramelization of the onions. And then the next step is, when we're done with the process, we're going to use this. This is a food mill. And what we're going to do is we're going to turn this and we're going to squeeze all the beans and everything through there. So it's going to be coming out through here, and it's going to be nice. And we're going to cook it down a little bit more, and it's going to be really super creamy and rich. So we started adding the onions to the pot, added a little bit of olive oil, and started cooking it down. And basically we want to get a nice caramelized texture to this. Okay, so let's check this out. Oh yeah, nicely caramelized. Alright, so we're going to take out some of the onions, and we're going to use that as a garnish at the end upon serving. And then the rest is going to be all mixed together. Well, let's get it all in. Black beans. Black beans. You know, I like Goya, but we had a can of Wally World beans, so I'll throw that in there. Not my favorite, but I'll put it in. Okay, so we're going to start stirring things up. My wife says that I always like to stir things up, so alright. We're going to add a little bit of broth base. Half a can of the tomato paste. About a tablespoon of crushed garlic. Yummy, yummy. About a half a teaspoon of cumin. About half a teaspoon of black beans. Half a teaspoon of oregano. My absolute favorite, Badia's complete seasoning. About a teaspoon of that. Good deal. All right. So, gonna mix all up. We're gonna put the lid on it and let it cook for about 20 minutes, just simply to get all the flavors to release and combine. Okay, just uncovered it. I moved it around a little bit and stripped a little bit of the stuff that was sticking in the bottom. And it did not burn, so don't worry about that. Anyway, it looks pretty good now. We're gonna actually take it out and go to the next step. Okay, so we're off the flames. What we're gonna do at this point is decant into another smaller bowl. You should see this, and you should smell this. This is really fantastic. All right. So now we're going to pass it on to the mill. And what we're going to do is just going to pour a little bit in there. And we're just going to start processing all this stuff in there, little by little. As you can see, it's dropping through there, so we're just going to continue to do this. So I've been pretty much moving this around little by little until we get some of this stuff that just won't go through. And I actually had to put in a cup of water to actually help it out a little bit. And as you see, this is gorgeous. Now, you may ask, why not using the meat processor? Well, the food processor. Well, the reason is the food processor doesn't actually take care of the bean shells. This stuff does. It does a beautiful job. We're adding a little bit of bay leaves, perhaps just tiny, not even 1/3 of a teaspoon. We're going to add a little bit more olive oil in here. We'll add a little bit of balsamic. a teaspoon of balsamic, no more. And we're going to add a little bit of brandy. Just a teaspoon. And all we want to do is just give it flavor. Going to heat this up. Half a teaspoon of brandy. I'm not worried about cooking off the alcohol in it. This is certainly something that you can serve the family. And I'll be frank with you, when I was in Cuba and as a child growing up, you know, during the holidays, the adults would always give us a little bit of wine to drink. It was festive, and it didn't create any alcoholics in the family, that's for sure. Okay, so the finished product. I add a little bit of salt, about half a teaspoon of salt at the end, and it is scrumptious. And I can guarantee you, you can serve that as a side, you can use that as an appetizer. I went to a restaurant in Baltimore that had a little bit of a soup that looked like a bisque, and it was okay. But this, by all means, is better and certainly going to impress anybody that you serve. Please hit like and by all means subscribe if you haven't, and share with your friends. This is Marcelino Abarne, your Dr. Flavor, signing off.